Hi everybody and welcome back to Guide to Aviation. I'm Brunette Fernandez, an ex-cabin crew with an international airline, currently working as an aviation trainer with over 18 years experience in the field of aviation. On today's session, I would be covering topics on the criteria required for you to pursue your dreams as a cabin crew. The topic would cover mostly the question, why does an airline ask for requirements? Why do they insist on these requirements for their screening process? Age, height, weight, language, health and fitness, grooming, swimming. Most of the information that I would be covering in my modules are questions asked by my students during my training sessions. However, if you do have more questions, do drop them in the comment section and I'll be happy to answer them through my next videos. So stay tuned for in-depth information on this topic and don't forget to hit the like, subscribe and also the notification bell for first-hand information. Coming to the first and foremost criteria that an airline would require for you to be a cabin crew is your age. A domestic airline would require an age of 18 years and an international airline would be 21 years of age. It is a very simple criteria that you need to be of age to start working. You get your driving license at the age of 18, so are you allowed to work at the age of 18? As simple as that. But here the question is, why does an international airline ask for 21 years when it's already okay for you to work at the age of 18? For you to work in a different country, you would require two major documents that country would provide you. One is your residence permit that allows you to live in that country, and also your work visa that allows you to work in that country. Now, different countries have different policies when it comes to age to let you work in the country. So for that one reason, all the airlines have made it a policy to abide with the rules of that country and to keep a limit to the age of 21 years to acquire these two documents of your residence permit and your work visa. Hence the difference of domestic and international comes 18 years, 21. So coming to your next criteria is your educational qualification. Just like how the age criteria works, even the educational qualification, there's a very minute difference that a domestic would ask for and an international would ask for. Educational qualification is higher secondary or pre-university. You would have completed it to join an airline. For an international sector, a course completion certificate would be required. Whereas for a domestic sector, besides your course completion certificate, you would also have to show a minimum of 50% marks that would be required. Study. All certificates that you produce have to be an attested copy. And mind you, it should be all legitimate copies of your certificate. There's a question that always comes up, that if you have chosen a field of management or nursing, would you still be eligible to be a cabin crew? Yes, you are eligible. Your basic qualification is higher secondary. From there, whatever qualifications you have is always an added advantage. Like say you have chosen management and you're currently studying management. After a while, and you do not want to continue flying and you want to step down into another field within the airline, your MBAs, your BBAs, all is an added advantage. Now, if you are currently working as a nurse, you're doing your BSc nursing, you can still continue, you can still apply to be a cabin crew. Your field as a medical practitioner is an added advantage. Once you've chosen to be a cabin crew, you go through training. That would be from 6 weeks to say 9 weeks. During that process, you are taught how to handle different situations in an aircraft, in which first aid is something that they train you on. So besides you being trained as a first aider, you will also have the experience of a medical practitioner. As I said, it's an added advantage. For you to be a cabin crew, your personality, how you speak, how you handle situations, how you interact with guests, that is your main requirement, your exceptional interpersonal skills. So whatever educational qualification you have completed, always an added advantage. The next requirement we would be talking about is your passport. Do you require a passport while flying domestic? Not exactly, but it's always good to have your passport ready. When you're there to fly, just fly. It's international that we're always aiming for. So keep your passport ready. So when you're preparing your resume, you have a section that would require your passport details. So the ones who already have your passport in your hand, you would have to fill in details of your date of issue of the passport, your date of expiry, and the place of issue. Make sure these three details are there in your resume. Very important. For the ones who have just applied for your passport, you can mention their processing. So most of you would have already started applying for jobs in international airlines, and some of you would get calls or get a mail saying that you are shortlisted and you would require to come for an interview at an immediate date. Please do not panic at any point of time that you do not have your passport in your hand. Panic is the last thing that we need right now. So what do we need to do? Applying, you've already applied for your passport, so there's nothing to worry about. You will receive it in due course of time. From the time you have been called for an interview till the time you have been selected to that airline, it's a huge process. It would take 4 rounds, 5 rounds, quite a number of rounds for them to continue, for them to screen you, to feel that you are eligible and you are perfect to fly for that particular airline. So meanwhile, you would receive your passport. So nothing to worry about. All you need to focus on is getting yourself prepared for the interview. Make sure you have all the information that you require for that particular interview. You're dressed well, you've groomed well, you have the personality for it, you prepared yourself on a self-introduction. That is what is important. Your passport will come in due time. Do not worry about it. When you get your passport, make sure you mention these details on your passport. 3 details: date of expiry, date of issue, place of issue. Make sure those details are there on your resume. Coming to the next requirement, languages that you need to know as a cabin crew. Prime language, always English. If you know English, you're already one step closer to being a cabin crew. You need to be absolutely fluent in the language, written and spoken. Do you need to know an additional language? If you know, very good. Most of the Middle Eastern airlines, like say Emirates, Etihad, Qatar, their primary focus is only on the candidates speaking English, because they have customers, guests coming from different parts of the world, and English is the common communication language between everybody. You know German, you know Spanish, you know Italian, added advantage. Working in any airline in India, you would definitely need to know Hindi. It is absolutely mandatory. So English and Hindi would be the languages that you need to know while you're flying domestic in India. Now say for example, you want to fly Air France. Yes, you need to know French. You want to fly with Lufthansa. Yes, you need to know German. You're flying with Air China, Mandarin, Chinese. Every country, their language is very important to them. So for you to fly in a carrier of their country, you need to know their language. But for Middle Eastern airlines, English is the only language that they are looking for while they are recruiting you. Any other language is an added advantage. I really hope you have benefited from this session. Please note that the next session would cover more requirements for you to pursue your dream job. So if you found this session informative, do click on the like button and share it with everyone you feel require this information. Also click on the notification bell to stay tuned for my upcoming videos. Thank you once again. See you at my next video. Bye-bye.